Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in for this wonderful live Facebook Live, my second live interview. And today I'm honored to have a guest who has got a great runography, I would say. She started running in the year 2012, and within 8 years, she has ran more than 100 races, which includes marathon, ultra marathons, 12-hour runs, 24-hour runs. She is also a trainer, which is a running coach for many people. She's an influencer with ASICS and Adidas. She has got a lot of certifications, which is in nutrition, which is in training. Yes, I'm going to just invite her, and she's going to come in soon. So let's see. Before that, thank you all for tuning in. If you can just say your hellos to me, it'll be nice. So everybody just say hello, and at least I know who all are there. So can you just tell your hellos, please? Okay, so we have our hellos here. Fantastic. So yes, we have Rahul here who has joined in. We have got around 7 or 10 people coming in slowly but slowly. So without further ado, I would like to invite Indra Ghosh to the forum. And hi, Indra, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. A lot of people are saying their hellos. Mr. Cecil Paul, I think all the way from Lucknow has tuned in. Mr. Prabhat Jha has tuned in. Mr. Rahul Chandera has tuned in. And we've got a few people coming in also. So, but we will start the interview. And I just gave a small introduction about you and said in 8 years' time, you have ran around 100 plus races nationally, internationally. You also are a trainer. You also are a influencer with Adidas and ASICS. You got a list of certifications in different levels or different things actually, which relates to running and training. And we're going to have a nice chat, and hopefully we can learn. The guests can also learn a lot of things from you. So welcome to the program, Indra. Tuning in from Mumbai, I suppose.
Yes, I'm from Mumbai right now. Yes.
Okay. Originally from Assam through Calcutta to Bombay.
Yes. Yeah. I've traveled all the way. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So we'll just start with the basic question. Let people understand you. Just tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I do not come from a sports background as per se. So it was basic school sports that we used to do. And in my place, Assam, especially badminton and table tennis, they are two main important sports. So I used to train for table tennis, but you know how 10th, then you're 12th, so things just, they are back seat, But all the time, it was always in my mind, I always wanted to be fit all the time. Because my grandfather was a juvenile diabetic and my mom is a doctor. So doing all that thing, it was always embedded in my mind, thanks to my mom, that health and fitness comes from basic lifestyle. It's not the medicine. You should not wait for the day where you have to go in for the medicine. So earlier the better. Yeah. So then this just went through. I finished my graduation, post-graduation. I started with my own export house. I was a designer. And then slowly, steadily, after I got married, I used to practice yoga. I used to do my workouts. I used to be a gymaholic. I was a fitness freak. But running was never in my mind. It was just a cardio of 10 minutes. It never used to interest me a lot. It's too monotonous, So when my daughter started training for swimming, so she is an athlete champion and she's represented India in Asia Pacific also. She's 50, 100 meter, 200 meter freestyler. So her training days were very, very hard, where she used to get up. We all used to get up at 4:30, pack her tiffin, a pre-workout, post-workout, then leave her, then wait, talk to the school, evening gym, again swim. So morning time was the time when I used to drop her, and I used to just think that kids are doing so much of hard work. These keep on sleeping, but also the second year, do it. Come on, little faster. But
Yeah.
then that's the time you feel like saying, can you do it? Please come
Okay.
on, issues.
Okay.
Actually, we and try it out.
Okay.
So I just want to experience their hardship. Because
Okay.
I used to
Okay.
train so hard and other kids train so hard. So that's
Yeah.
the time I thought I, start training for something. So
Okay.
because in my class we had some runners, they inspired me that why don't you just do a marathon? Of course, we have
But
so many people, I cannot run. I
yeah.
get claustrophobic. But he said,
Okay.
no, just be. So that's how it started.
That's wonderful. We also have Mr. Vijay Nair, Lieutenant Commander Vijay Nair, saying hello to you from Bombay Roadrunners.
Yes.
Yes, so he has joined in. Didar Soki and Satish Kumar also joined in. So you said that it was just after your daughter started training for swimming, and and after some time, some of your friends in a yoga class told you to join to go for a run, right? Um, so, um, so the running journey started in which year? 2002. When did it start?
See, 2010, actually, she started swimming. I was just running with her in the park around, say, maybe like half an hour, 40 minutes. But
Yeah.
actual training has 2011 and 12 was
Okay.
my first half marathon, which was the Mumbai
Okay.
Marathon. Yes,
Okay, that's good. So, were you inspired by anybody? Any favorite any runners whom you looked up to while training?
Well, I had Ashwin and Nandita who were in my yoga class. So
Okay.
these two people were my first inspirations. They were the first runners that I came across. Then from
Okay.
where I come, Shiva is a hub of very good runners. So
Okay.
everybody was inspiring everyone, and that's how I can name endless people who has inspired me, from Naveen to Nihal. A lot of runners are there. So
Okay.
they have inspired me all the time. Yes. And
That's
there
wonderful.
is one who always inspires me, and I run with him whenever I get a chance along with other friends. Is Dada. We all call him Dada. Vijay also must be knowing him. He is basically a long distance runner, Apurva Das. He is a very low profile runner, but he is one of the fastest ultra marathoner. He is the first person who ran from Mumbai, Delhi with Milind Soman.
Okay.
So we call him the monk. He is the
Okay.
monk.
Okay.
So he inspires me all the time. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bombay Delhi, I think one more runner I remember, Mr. Raj Wagdama. He also ran from Bombay to Delhi. Yeah.
Yeah. He was
Mr.
also
Apurva
with them.
Das was the first. Okay.
Yeah, he was also with them. Yes. Raj
Okay.
also. Yeah.
That's nice. Any coaches during that time, or was it a self-learning experience?
No, that time I didn't have any coach as such. It was just a friend group running, and they used to give me tips, and I used to follow them. And
Okay.
later, after I almost did all my, I think 1 or 2 ultra marathons and a lot of long distance run, I met Mr. Deepak Raj, who is
Okay.
an Indian, but he's a triathlete. So
Okay.
he was doing some online training with a lot of good runners. So I thought I'll also take some more tips. So that's
Okay.
a short period of time. 1 minute, I'll just shut the window.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I stay near the seaside, so it's
Very
a nice
nice.
breeze, but it's raining now. Anyways, so
Okay.
yeah, I just took a short brief of training with him. That's
Okay.
all of it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. So you participated in your first long run in the year 2012.
Yeah.
So can you just tell us about your experience? And I know as a trainer, when you look back,
Yeah.
what were the mistakes you have done in your first long run, and which you
Yeah.
corrected, later after learning about things.
Yes. Yeah. Every run that I run, I think most of us also we feel that we always feel, oh shit, I shouldn't have done this, and next time I'm not going to repeat, but somehow or the other, something comes in. So each and every run teaches you something to move ahead. So the
Okay.
first, I would start with when I did my first full marathon. I'm giving you for example, I
Yeah.
clocked time of about 5 hours, 12 minutes. I think
Okay.
5:12. First full marathon, which I did the Bombay Marathon.
Okay.
So it was just after 2 half marathon and I think 1 half marathon, I quickly jumped into the full marathon. So
Okay.
that is one mistake that I think I did. I should have practiced more of half marathons.
Okay.
That is the mistake I think I have done, because I hardly did any half and quickly I jumped into it. But then again, from there, I quickly jumped into a 50K run. You know, when you
Oh,
start, you're very enthusiastic. You want to cover distance, you want to do more and more.
yeah.
But thankfully, after doing the 50, my timing came down to 4:21 from 5:12. I
Okay.
don't know how. So that
Okay.
was mainly an added thing because of mileage. So
Okay.
when you are training for a long, long run or an ultra marathon, mileage is the first thing that
Okay.
counts.
Okay.
You maintain your, there's a calculation of your normal heartbeat range. So
Okay.
you keep the heartbeat range zone, the HR zone, your normal one, the zone, and you do the long distance. So do
Okay.
not think about pacing, do not think about speed. This is where I went wrong. This is where most of us go wrong.
Okay.
Is because we push, if somehow we do, we get injured because our body is not ready for it as yet. It's not about
Yeah.
weight. It's not about, yes, to a particular point, weight does matter. But no, even you'll see that me, for example, I had a very bad hamstring issue because
Okay.
that I was, even now I'm good. That time I had lost a lot of weight. My muscle strength had gone because the fat was there. Okay, lose weight, you'll get faster. But to
Okay.
the point with normal body weight,
Yeah.
below that, your body is your body. My body is my body. So I should know
Yeah.
that since my childhood, I am more on the strength side. So I should maintain the strength to have my muscle strength, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's the point where I was running behind time, or where I was running behind speed. So that is a wrong thing. I guess mileage is first. So you
Okay.
stop, you run, you do everything, but increase your mileage, keep your heart rate comfortable.
Okay.
So
So I
this
mean,
is
so the learning was don't jump from smaller mileage to a larger mileage
yes,
soon without
yeah,
training. I
yeah,
mean, do not lose so much of body weight. Running is not
yes,
all about that. It's all
yes,
about building mileage and knowing your strength. A couple
yes.
of your friends have joined in. I'm saying hello to you. Mansi Samudra saying hi,
Hi,
Indy.
Mansi. Hi.
And Meenakshi Sampat Kumar has also joined. Jilam Sarkar has also joined here. And we also
Hello.
have a good runner from the Indian Army, Mr. Dr. Bhupinder Suhag, who
Hi.
has also done the Ladakh Marathon. He
Oh,
has
wow.
also joined in.
That's
So a
good.
couple of people saying hello to you, wanting to hear about you and what you have done so far. So how many races have you participated so far?
Um,
Approximately?
See, approximately close to 100, because I have not counted. I was just in this lockdown. I was just clearing off I have kept all my bibs till date.
Okay. Okay.
All my medals are there, of course, but bibs are, so I was just cleaning everything. So it was close to 100. Exactly, I
Okay.
don't remember but each and every race was unique. I've done 5 kilometers, 10, 21, 50, 75, 80, but each and every races were unique. And I'm so grateful that I could complete most of the runs. Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, and the most interesting part, I would not interesting, impressive part of what it is that I mean, almost a quarter of that are have resulted in podium finishes for you. Approximately. So, which one was the most memorable win for you, where you were so happy and thrilled reaching receiving a podium finish?
Yeah, the ultra marathon. Sorry, the this one that I did, the stadium run, which was
Yeah.
a 12. So we started at morning. I chose the morning thing from 5:30 to evening 5:30, and I experienced, I could say, all the season. Morning it was nice and warm. Then
Yeah.
it started. It was hot. Then it
Okay.
started raining. Then again it was. So half of the race was with wet shoes. I changed my shoes 3 times. That's where I again see I'm talking about time. I lost
Yeah.
time. I had to change it 3 times.
Okay.
And one barefoot, few of it. Then I started getting blisters, so I wore different shoes. Then I saw I don't have sole in one shoe, I have sole in the other shoe.
Okay.
What kind of stories? And by 1 hour, when was the last 2 hours, few laps left, I was like, why am I doing this? I could have just full marathon. I could have just done it, and why am I doing this? What's gone wrong? And when you know that, okay, you've got a podium and all that, it was really beautiful. And I know I was very tired, but that time I could not absorb it. But now when I think back, it was really beautiful. And I covered a decent distance, so I was good. I was happy with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many kilometers, if you remember?
80.
80 kilometers. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Where was this 12-hour run? Bombay?
Stadium.
Okay, inside stadium run.
400 meters thing, that was even another thing. So it was
Okay.
1 hour on one side and 1 hour again change your direction. So clockwise
Okay.
anti. Yeah.
So, who were part of your crew?
There was no group. I did the solo run.
Okay.
But
No,
we had
was there a crew for you for your food and hydration and everything?
See, it was organized by IDBI Mumbai Federal Insurance, so they are a very good crew by themselves. So they treat
Okay.
you individually, like you don't have to get your own crew. So you
Yeah.
can get your own runners. Like Dada used to run with me for some time. Then Kavin
Okay.
was there. He was running there, but you can get your friends who will run a few distance with you just to keep your motivation on you, keep you on, But as per crew was not necessary as such. Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's nice. Just wanted to let you know, Mr. Satish Gujaran, Mr. Comrades has joined us and saying hello to you.
He's the
Yes,
on
he's
ultra marathon.
he's a legend for Comrades. He's saying
Yes.
hello to you. Mr. Rakesh Singh is saying hello to you also.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check up from marathon to ultra marathon. Any particular reason apart from the thrill of doing something new which made you choose ultra marathon?
Firstly, I am a bit competitive. I say frankly what I am. So I
Okay,
am a
good.
bit competitive when I know it's a regular race. Every race is a win for you when you complete it. But
Yeah.
every time I feel I want to compete myself only, I want to do a better thing than what I did earlier. So
Okay.
marathon was a good thing for me, but at a point I felt that I'm running too much behind time.
Okay.
So when I practice, I do a good time. When I go for races, something goes wrong. Either
Okay.
I have a lot of gastric issue, or I get a upset stomach, or something
Yeah.
or the other crops up. That means I'm
Okay.
nervous, or I'm expecting too much out of me. So I'm
Okay.
telling you all the mistakes I do so that everybody doesn't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought this. I said, let me drop marathon, or just take it on a backseat, and I want to do ultra marathon, because some people told me, you know what, you are an endurance runner. You can go on for a long time, but when you want to speed up, you somehow mess it up. In practices, you do short distance, because in practice, you don't go beyond 30, 32. You do a good
Yeah.
timing, but when you go for the marathon, since you are thinking about the last 42, last 10 kilometer, which you didn't practice, you go wrong
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
So I thought ultra marathon was very peaceful for me, because somehow or the other I was not running behind time. Yet I was doing a good timing when I was running on my, as compared to what I would do on a full marathon. Plus, I felt like I'm much more at ease with myself, because
Okay.
after I cross the 32 and all, I don't have that barrier and blockage and all. I never felt it. It's
Okay.
just nervous. I can feel it at 16 also, 15 also. 30, 32 is not required. I'm just saying. So, but
Okay.
for ultra, when I cross a 42, I feel very good and I'm ready for the extra mile.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Satish Gujaran is telling, remembering our last year's two oceans, Cape Town, South Africa,
Yes,
ultra marathon.
yes.
So if you can just tell all, what was that special ultra marathon which is there, which is talking about?
So it was a beautiful run, and we all had gone together. They were very good runners, and I was one of the non-comrade runner, because most of the comrade runners, even the local comrade runners, come there for a practice and they do the comrades. Because it's a tougher run, because it's full uphill, and it is 56 kilometers. So they practice that shorter distance and tough run, and they are ready for the next comrades run. So everything went well. Only the previous night, anyways, the route was very tough. the previous night we got a news that the route has changed and
Oh,
the slope was
okay.
because of some technical issues. So
Okay.
we all had, and it had a this thing, a cutoff time at
Okay.
25, 30, and 42, and of course the end also where the gun blows.
Okay.
So that thing was playing in my mind, but what I decided is that I have practiced. I am not going to see the best timing I want to do. It is my
Okay.
first field marathon, you can say. I have not even practiced the Tiger Valley, the local one in Bombay that people have practiced. I had practiced only the Malabar slopes, the local slopes that I got. So I said that I've done my best and I leave it onto the fate of God. I'll finish it, but I will
Okay.
not jump for timing. Okay, because they
Okay.
gave a leverage of some extra time because they changed the route.
Okay.
So that was a bonus point. And what I did is I stayed alone because for me, when I stay with a group, somehow I don't get sleep or something doesn't match. I'm not saying they are at fault. I'm at fault. So I have learned that any international or any races you go, you stay alone. Don't share
Okay.
a room with someone or a house
Okay.
with someone. Because
Okay.
I like to eat something, I like to sleep on time and all that. So, and I want that peace. I mean, you've practiced so much for it, so why not? And
Yeah.
then next morning, I got up on time, I slept well, I had my bath, and I was listening to good music, you know.
Okay.
So I was just telling myself, yes, you've done good. I was looking in the mirror and I saying, you look too strong today and you're going to kill it and you're doing very well.
Okay.
I really ate very well and I was ready for it. And believe me, when I was standing on the line, and I'm thankful to Simta, one of the elite runners, she was about to run, but she had some injuries, so she could not run. She had met with an accident before that, but so sweet of her that she came to motivate all of us. And she said, India, I'll run the first 5 kilometers with you. And so sweetly,
Okay.
she was holding my hand. Thanks to her, I owe the medal to her. She was standing with me. And besides me, the localites from
Okay.
Cape Town, all comrades runner. This was their nth time of Cape Town ultra marathon.
Okay. The two versions.
And he was saying like, you all look so young. You know, he asked my age. I didn't want to say, but I had to say, you're going to kill it. What do you eat? You know, he also motivated me that I can do it. He said, you've done this. Now come to comrades. This is nothing, you know. He was like,
Okay.
I was like, okay. So everything worked nice. I started as a nice pace. I didn't look at anyone here and there. I followed myself and it was a beautiful marathon. The last few, I think 5 kilometers, you're not supposed to carry music. You can't hear
Okay.
any, yeah. So there was a group of localites. So it was a big group of, I think, 10 runners. And they were creating such beautiful rhythm, you know, like,
Okay.
so matching with your step. And it was so beautiful. Only thing we missed water because there was some problem. So
Okay.
anyways, we were just diverting our mind here and there. So they were also doing this rhythm so that you forget about water and you're finishing the race.
Okay.
So God was with me and running God was with me and everything was great. So
That's
grateful
nice. So
on
you must
that.
have quite a bit of a huge playlist with you. Any favorites?
Playlist as such, I like Pink Floyd a lot,
Okay.
but I do not like listening to music when I run.
Oh,
After a
okay.
point, I have done one race. I won't say no. Athens Marathon was allowed to do
Okay.
with the music. So I ran that, but after 2021, it was bothering my this thing, you know, too much of
Okay.
music. So I shut it off and I put it off. And at the end, 10 kilometers, I switched it on again. But
Okay.
per se, I think only 5-10 is good with the music. But beyond that, I think it tires you. I mean, for me, it does. So I don't enjoy music a lot when I run long distance.
Yeah. I mean, as a trainer, if you want to advise people on ultra marathons, I know ultra marathon is all about mileage. Where you
Yeah.
run about 50 kilometers, 80 kilometers. So apart from mileage,
Yeah.
what are the other things which a newbie into ultra marathon should be training themselves for?
For ultra marathon, about first thing you train your mind. Ultra marathon is all about mind game. Okay, it's just to be with your own self. It's like you should love it. First of all, you should not follow it. 100 people are doing ultra marathon, so I am also ready for it. There may be only 3 runners doing in India ultra marathon, but it's your choice because you are in tune with that meditative state of mind because you know you are just with your own self. Okay,
Okay.
So you have to be so much comfortable with your own self that first the mind has to be very clear about it, that you're ready for it.
Okay.
Secondly, food is very important when you're doing a ultra marathon because then comes a lot of calorie intake that you
Okay.
need to replenish training for it. And
Yeah.
even when you're going for the race before it also, but the entire thing is that you can't go too much on leaning out. Like
Okay.
that is the period when you cannot say that I want to lean, cut my things down. You have to replenish yourself. You have to eat good fat. You
Yeah.
have to have good carbohydrate, and you have to have a very good meal with all your hydration. Your drinking should be excellent because muscle should be always hydrated so that it is nicely fluid inside, so it can stretch well. It's like a dry, any dry thing which is it becomes hard. So if it
Okay.
is more moist and hydrated, it's easily supple and it stretches more and it is less prone to injuries because it's more stretching. It's more relaxing. So
Good.
food, mind, and your strength training. These things.
Mind, food,
Yeah.
your diet, pre and post diet, your hydration during the race is important. What you eat, which includes hydration also,
Yeah.
right? These are the most important
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one thing which you said in your intro that you are part of a team of athletes, triathletes, all-woman team,
Yes.
which got mentioned in
Yes.
the Limca Book of Records.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us about that race and who are your team members, and how did all this happen?
Yeah, so basically, Meera from Bangalore, she had connected with me because she's a cyclist, and she said, let's form a group and we'll be the first women team to do a triathlon, which
Okay.
is first women team. So there was one more lady from Nasik, Pallavi, she was a swimmer, and she and me as a runner.
Okay.
So we didn't meet before that. It was just 2 days when we had arrived to the thing happened in Kunur, in Mysore. You know that
Yeah.
they have a
Near Ooty, right? Yeah, Kunur, yeah.
not Kunur, in Mysore only.
Mysore,
So
okay.
little of Mysore, so they have a lake and they have paddy fields, like just
Okay.
fields, field. So the running happened there. The lake was for the swim, and even the cycling happened there. So
Okay.
my time came afternoon 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Because cycling took a lot of time, swimming was not so long, and it was half distance.
Okay.
So 1 o'clock I waited and waited, and it was full, like the sun god was kind of addressing me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Le lo mujhe," and it was like quite tough, but yeah, it was a different experience, and always a team effort is a beautiful effort. I think team is a team.
Running in paddy field sounds like trail running. Did you prepare for it?
Yeah. And there was not a single tree over my head who could see the shade or just feel nice. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. So you got mentioned in the Limca Book of Records for that?
Yes. It is there in the Book of Records. Yeah.
Okay. Meenakshi Sampath Kumar, I think it is Tonur Lake. That is the name of the lake.
Yes. Yeah. I was saying
Kunur is a place in near Ooty, so Tonur Lake. So Meenakshi is here telling you about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So at a later stage, when your daughter joined swimming, where you had to motivate her and you were joining her for all the training programs or being with her while she was training, you decided to become a strength trainer, right? And you were actually the strength trainer for all the elite swimmers in India. Any major names, including your daughter, you can tell us?
There was one girl called Akanksha Bora. There was
Okay.
one more girl, Akanksha. Then there are still three swimmers. Deena Dhami is the mom and her daughter, and even this girl. I'm forgetting her name. They are from Khar Gym. So a lot of
Okay.
swimmers from Matunga Gym, Khar Gym. So they were national, and they are still now on the junior levels. Like they have not
Okay.
still gone. Their junior continues till 16 years.
Okay.
So they are in that level now. So after 16, they go for the senior levels. So
Okay.
these are the girls. Most of them are still swimming. Some of them, swimming is one sport, unfortunately, which not only with my daughter, but all of the elite swimmers, those who have even gone abroad, like my daughter is abroad also, where she's got beautiful pool, where there is a in-house coach. They have an in-house team also.
Okay.
Everybody is overtrained. That
Okay.
is what I've experienced with all the swimmers and all sports in India, that everybody is overtrained. That is the reason when they reach the peak, which is 16 or 15, they lose
Yeah.
interest.
Okay.
Yeah, because they've been training from 11, 12. Before that also some swimmers have started at 6, 7 also, and 11, 12. And the only thing a coach tells them, and parents, even I have done the mistake, is that any race you go, you have to win.
Okay.
The coach never tells them that you have
Enjoy the race.
Yes, enjoy the race, and I want you to experience what it is.
Yeah.
When time comes, when you're mature enough, this is what happens abroad.
Okay.
14, 15 years, they're allowed to play. The coach
Okay.
will say, today there is an event, but everybody come dressed in fancy dress. He
Okay.
makes it. It is
Okay.
not a race to be so given so much of importance. You all come in fancy dress, okay? And we'll just have a good time. They'll sing songs, they'll do this. And when right time comes, they just hit it. Because they're so fresh in their mind, they don't have pressures. In India, we have a lot of pressures. I have seen parents slapping kids on the pool when they have not done their timings.
My
And
God.
that's slapping kids in front of me.
That is really. I would not say. I mean, I feel very, very bad when a parent does that in public. So yeah. So I do understand I mean, I don't think the parents understand the emotions the child goes through during that time when they put so much of pressure. Maybe later part of the life they might think back and say, okay, fine.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Meenakshi Sampath, sorry.
I switch on some light.
Right. Yeah, light is okay, but yeah, you can do that. Yeah, we can have a view of your house now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meenakshi. Yeah. So Meenakshi is saying about Ajit Tandur. Again, another name she has mentioned out here.
Yes.
So one thing, since we talked about talking about strength training now, that was your first certification you had taken?
Yeah, from ACSM, American Council of Sports Medicine. So I have done a CPT training. So it's like a personal trainer, which is the basic level. So basically, you train general population.
Yeah.
So after that, I have specialized with sports people. Basically, every sports have different kind of training. So when I'm training an athlete, it's a different strength training. When I'm training a swimmer, a footballer, so it's all different kind of trainings depending on their sports. And
how does it differ? How does it differ between swimming and running?
Yeah, so see, running is everything on the your body is also all the time this, horizontal. You're against the wind and you are running horizontal. Swimming is everything you're lying and doing.
Okay.
So the entire body frame only changes. So the entire thing, your body resistance against the wind plus your gravitational pull, everything changes. Okay. So it is an entirely different kind of, and again in swimming, a short distance, like 50, 100, 200, we'll have a different set of strength training. At a long distance, we'll have a different set of strength training. So that is so specific,
Okay.
Then I cannot tell a swimmer to do a lot of other kind of duck walks, things like which an athlete I might ask to do, because I have to take care of their knees. I have to take, because swimmers, breaststrokers have a lot of knee issues. We feel swimming is, yes, swimming till a point you're doing recreational is fine, but when it gets to hard, I have seen a lot of breaststrokers they suffer a lot of knee issue. So you have to be very particular again which style are they swimming. If there is a freestyler who is always, moving hands forward and trying and gets into a bending form, you see those swimmers, they are starting to hunch. You have to give strength training opposite to what they are doing in the pool. So they relax the muscle, they don't overwork it. Secondly is they are balancing it up. So all these things differ.
Now, I mean, hobby runners, generally not athletes who are elite, but hobby runners who venture into running. Strength training is one which I think if I said 9 out of 10 people hate to do it. It's a fact. So my question is a couple of questions when it comes to strength training. One is that how would you encourage runners to do strength training? That is first question. Second is that in a week, how much time should one spend on doing this? And the third question is that when you're getting closer to the race, should this intensify?
Okay. So motivation of doing strength training, the first question is, when you always should feel that I am using couple of, running is a mechanism where you're actually using the entire body. So, but the leg is working the most because you feel it. It's one of the heaviest group of muscle that we have. So we are lifting the heavy muscle group every time, dropping it, lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. So you have to tell yourself that I have to better or continue my running process, and I don't want to stop. If you're really love running, I don't want to stop in between by, God forbid, any injuries. Then you have to do the strength training. And secondly, it's a breather. After a point, human mind is that we don't want to repeat the same thing again and again every day. So it's a breather to do a strength training. And thirdly is that strength training should be designed in such a way that that particular day you don't fall short of breath. It should not be an HIIT again. Because you're already doing it on the spot. You should look forward to it that I'm going to relax today. Yes, I'm going to do some strength. At the same time, I'm going to relax also today. So it should be designed. And your second question was...
how much time should one spend doing in a week strength training?
So 2 days is good enough. And 1 day you can just keep for stretching and mobility. So 2 days particularly you do the strength training. 1 day you do mobility. And 1 more day where you are doing a short distance, where you feel the body has recovered. That day you can do running specific drills after you finish the run.
So my third question was that does the intensity or the frequency of it change when you are training, when you're getting closer to a race? Suppose 1 week closer to the race or 2 weeks closer to the race, should it change?
Yes. 2 weeks closer to a full marathon, I would say. If you're doing 5-10, you can continue doing 20 minutes of fast movements. Like suppose you're doing a 5-10 kilometer, then whatever 3-4 movements like you pick up, which are not very hard for your body, but no heavy weights, you do fast repetitions, lighter weights, and you finish it off in 25 minutes to 30 minutes max. But the last week, you can stretch, do a lot of stretching, mobility, and do all the TheraBand exercises, which are more of kind of
resistance kind of thing.
Yeah, resistance, but it is very mild, and there are different levels of TheraBands also. And if you're doing a full marathon, if you're doing a full marathon, 2 weeks is absolutely, you should stop from any heavy weights, any strength. And again, icing, a lot of foam rolling,
foam
stretching.
Rolling,
foam rolling. Foam rolling should be again included in your entire running phase. But that time, just pay more attention. And sometimes you can do a bit of dips. You can do push-ups. You can do Surya Namaskar. Now, upper body is one part that all runners feel it's not of use.
Yeah.
But believe me, we run, I think 40% of our run with the upper body.
Okay.
because it's the entire cutting of the wind pressure that's coming in front. This is your, like a flight, this is your flaps.
Yeah.
So if your flaps fall loose and weak, the legs are overloaded.
Yeah.
So push up, chest press, shoulder press, these are 3-4 basic exercises which are very good for all runners. So you should have a good strength on your upper body also.
Yeah, there's a question by Mr. Prabhat Jha about strength training. He said that is it okay to do interval or long runs, tempo, in the next day after you have done strength training in the evening, the previous day?
Okay, he's done, suppose today strength training, heavy strength
Evening he
training.
has done strength training, and next day morning he wants to do interval or long runs or tempo runs the next day morning.
Long run
Is it
fine.
okay?
Long run is fine. Long run is fine. Easy
Long run
pace,
is fine.
long. Yes, yes. Long run is fine, but not interval or that fast interval run, because your legs are still sore. So long run will kind of open it out, and then the next day you can do your interval runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, since we have you here, I know for the interview and you are the trainer, I just wanted to, for our viewers' sake, if you can show a few basic exercises which people can take away home as a strength training routine, it will be fine. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah. So I'll show you here only. Now these two things that I have kept here, I hope I'm visible.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So this particular thing is very helpful, and I think you get a lot of different brands. It's called the Bozo ball that
Yeah.
you get in the market. So this particular thing is very good for our balance. Now balance is required in our runners because we have to see to it consciously, or we just don't ever think when we are running that am
Yeah.
I running on using both my body parts equally, so that
Yeah.
I don't stress on one part, and
Yeah.
that part starts getting tired, and slowly injury starts seeping inside. So
Okay.
these things, like just you stand on one leg. First we start with on the floor, one leg balance. Okay.
Yeah.
First one. Then you go on this. So now when I go on this, two things work. One is that I'm balancing. Now the balance will come when I activate my core.
Okay.
So as soon as I hold my stomach tight, now what is activating of core? Not that I'm holding my breath. It's somebody's going to punch me and I'm just contracted it. Pelvic bone inside, navel I've sucked in towards my spine, and I'm just holding it and standing. So count in your mind 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and as you progress. So you can do 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. This is one kind of set. Now on this again, second thing is very good is for a hamstring, and for a glutes are the deadlifts. So one leg, everything is good because when we are running, we are using one leg at a time. We're not hopping both the legs. So you're doing one. So one leg workouts are excellent for runners. So one leg deadlift, we start doing first free hand, where we just softly raise our leg and just close to the shin, go down and up. Basic ones. Then you come on this, you take a support to start with and just go down. You feel it on the hamstring. So this is one leg that we've done. Then we do the squat or the quadriceps. So front, back, we balance. So one leg squat we do. We just go down. With your support, without support, then you come up on this. Then with or without support, one leg squat. Okay. So these three exercises for this, and last one is the calf raises. So both the calf raises. Okay. And then you can do one leg. And for upper body, few things that we can do is you can do push up is the best exercises for all runners. You don't have to think 100 things. So in push ups again, we have different variations. Maybe where we do a normal push up, you can come on your knees, you go down and up.
Okay.
The other one is you come full, you go down and up. Then you do close grip push-up, again very good for shoulders. Now these push-ups are good for tricep, this is good for shoulder. So you make like a diamond push-up, you get your hands close, you get your Yes. Closer. Down.
Mhm.
Up. Down. Up.
Okay. Yeah.
So these push-ups are good. Then you do your shoulder press. So you stand. You can carry small weights or
Yeah.
bottle, anything that you have. Okay.
Hmm.
And press. So
Okay.
again, good for the shoulders. Neck
Okay.
relaxed, shoulders down, core activated, shoulder
Yeah.
press. These two
Okay.
things. And see, when you're doing push-up, your tricep is also working. So that
Yeah.
is good enough.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the core. So for core, what we can do, either you can do on the bozo ball or you
Yeah.
can just regular planks. You start with plank. Now plank because you are facing the gravity and working against gravity.
Yeah.
So against gravity is always harder to work. I do not
Okay.
suggest crunches. Crunches are when you are really experienced, you know what is core activation. Then you start doing crunches. Otherwise, you are always using the neck. So a lot of
Okay.
people might start getting neck issues when they used to do crunches. So plank
Yeah.
is absolutely safe. So
Yeah.
plank, you can just do the normal plank. You can
Okay.
start with seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So technically, I'm not going into detail because there's a lot of things technically how you should do the plank. Basically, tucking your navel towards the spine, shoulders relaxed, scapulas
Yeah.
coming close, and your elbow, shoulders on one line. Then you can do plank.
Okay. I have a question. I have a question on planks. Is that nowadays
Yeah.
people are going for record timing for planks? What is your take as to how much is the maximum time one should do plank for for a maximum benefit? I mean, there are people trying for 3 hours, 4 hours. I just wanted your take as a trainer. How much is the maximum time one should do planks? Your
See,
take.
it can go from a beginner level of 30 seconds, okay, to maximum 4 to 5 minutes.
Maximum,
That's it.
right? For
Yeah,
the best
because
benefit.
best benefit you'll get because after that either your shoulders are giving way because plank works on your shoulders also. It works on the
Yeah.
shoulders, on the core, on your back. Everything it works. So it's not
Okay.
required to come for the record. If you're interested in doing a record, then that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
for your thing, that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yes.
the other plank you can do on this. So you can just, if you have a bozo ball, if you don't have, then forget about it. Then you can put
Yeah.
your leg on this and do it. Now this is one bozo ball. Another thing for your hamstring also, and your core is the Swiss ball.
Okay.
So this is another very good balance workout for your core and even for the hamstring. So for the hamstring, especially when you are lying down, this is an excellent workout for the runners. So you keep your legs on top,
Yeah.
and then first you do just bridges. So
Yes.
pressing your hamstring, your glutes, raising it up, down,
Yeah.
up, holding, squeeze, down, up, holding. So this is two
Okay.
legs. Then you do with one leg, up, down, up, down. You can change leg. So like that, you can do 10 to 15 counts, 2 sets, 3 sets as you progress. And the
Yeah.
ultimate is that you keep your shin, your calf rested. Okay.
Yeah.
Raise it up, straighten, up,
Okay.
straighten. So these few exercises also, if you just increase your repetitions, increase your sets, then
Yeah.
it's more than enough. Yeah.
If
And this,
the Swiss ball is not available, can they use a wall to do this?
yeah, you can put it on a level like a chair. You suppose you don't have a bozo ball, so you can just put on a chair you have, higher chair,
Yeah. Yeah.
higher surface, and you can do that. That's
Wonderful.
also fine. Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you very much for showing these exercises. I know it's slightly difficult when you're doing an interview and you have to do all this, but I really appreciate you doing that.
Right.
Just for the viewers, Indra is also a personal trainer, and you can contact her for any personal training needs of yours. You also done a lot of certifications. You got certification in sports medicine, strength training, personal training. hill trainer, myofascial release trainer. You got the Bozu ball, Swiss ball, med ball instructor training. If somebody wants to follow your path as a trainer, what are the most important certifications which they have to take so that they can become not only a good in learning, but not also as a teacher from a
Yeah.
training point of view?
So basically now there is a graduation also in physical training, which happens in Mumbai University, and I think in Kalina also they do that. So it's a 3-year course where you're doing a proper physical training graduation. And otherwise, what I have done is ACSM, then there is K11, I think in Santa Cruz, but that is more of a practical, just showing you how to use a lot of gym equipment. But I
Okay.
wanted to understand the entire musculoskeletal system, anatomy, it covered a bit of nutrition and everything. So that's why I preferred that course. And later, last part was the practical part, where we used to go to the gym and learn about all these workouts. So
Okay.
I think that is the basic certification you need to do. And anybody who has done even a 12th pass can do this kind of thing. Only even the graduation one you can do after you're past 12th and you have science, because
Okay.
we have a lot of anatomy and it is quite difficult to follow the anatomy if you don't have a science background.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tough course, but it's worth it. I mean, you learn basically the entire thing. Why am I doing it? Now you go to a
So,
gym. Basically, instructors will say, "Yeah, you lift this up, you do this." But why am I doing this?
why?
Is very important, so that I know which muscle is working. Because workout is something that you have to visualize. There will be two partners, which I always give examples, when new clients coming in, that I've been working out, but nothing is happening, nothing is happening. So the main thing is that I will just tell them that I myself have experienced this. When you do a core, when you do a hamstring, you put your eyes into the muscle. Your muscle also has memory. Your muscle can also see. So for
Okay.
that time, first time put your eyes in your core. See what you want to see. Don't
Okay.
see what you want. See what you want to see. Like you see those abs you want, those cuts you want. You see those hamstring strength you want. You see those arm strength you want. And visualize that 30 minutes. Give your mind to your muscle.
Okay.
What you So it's basically just knowing it how to work out. It's just not physically that I'm working out and showing my strength. The mind has to be there.
Sure.
So that is
That's nice.
what is
I'm sure all these trainings have made you almost a doctor now of muscle and joints and.
I still have to not. I still have to a lot, and I have
Okay.
such trainers everywhere. Yeah.
Uh, your latest thing is about nutrition, which you love to talk about, and I've seen it in your website where
Yeah.
you bake those wonderful breads, and I think it's almost every day you got something new coming up. So running and nutrition, if you can just tell us the viewers
Uh,
about what are the things they should be looking at,
yeah.
because majority of the people who run, they initially, I think, I would
Yeah.
say that majority of them take up running to lose weight. Uh, you know,
Yes.
and then after some time, then they lose weight. Then they are into serious running. But majority of the
Yes.
time, they take to lose weight. So if somebody is going wanting to lose weight and they've taken up running, what are the advices on nutrition you can give?
Yeah. So if your aim is first to lose weight while you're running, the main advice is to eat right. See, when you start running, because like any other exercises or activity, you will start getting hungrier. And that is the point you need to just, I'm not saying every time check your calories or feed your thing into fitness pal and find out how much you ate and how much you worked out and all that. That really troubles your mind. Main thing is that just make a chart for yourself that these are my favorite food. These are my cheat food. Okay. And I will eat my cheat food. Don't deprive yourself, because you will go towards it all the more. So Sunday, where I do a nice long run, I am going to eat my cheat food one day. The rest of the days, this is what you can consult someone, or you can find out what you like, and you will now, a lot of informations people have, find out that these are good fats, these are good carbohydrates. So since I'm following a running process, I don't want to not do it by feeling weak also and feeling that I can't eat anything. You eat what you're eating, but just see the timing of when you eat and just lessen the quantity a bit. Slowly,
Okay.
slowly, you lessen the quantity a bit and change from that heavy fat or that heavy carbs to a lighter, and you get a lot of healthy options and tasty options also. So
Okay.
taste should be substituted by not eating, but you can change into such things. Don't deprive yourself, and one day keep a cheat day. I would say
Okay.
not a cheat, but a healthier version of a little.
Cheat food. Gulab jamun with less sugar.
Yeah.
Yes. It's fried but less sugar syrup on gulab jamun.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
absolutely.
th- yeah, there is a question by Amit Yadav. It's not on running, but more on swimming. He
Yeah.
says, what is your take on fluid intake while swimming in a pool? He says
Oh,
that I notice it's okay till 1.5 kilometers and beyond that
oh,
I feel cramps in stomach or calf muscle or toes.
yes, yes.
So
So that.
the pace he's saying that it's not more than 34 minutes per kilometer.
Okay, okay. So that is all because of less of fluid and salt intake that he has taken. So he should have a pre-workout drink, which a lot of companies offer now. There are vegans one. There is other BCAA also have. So he should have that, and he should have a nice like if he's swimming at around say 7 o'clock, and he
Yeah.
has a nice distance, a long distance to cover up, he can have a little bit of oats or dalia without the milk, because
Okay.
again milk is very heavy to digest,
Mhm.
and with salt. When he boils the oats, you can add salt in it and just have the watery oats. Basically,
Okay.
the carbs and the salt will give you a nice good feeling when you have it. Plus,
Yeah.
it will also keep your fluid nice. The salt will avoid the cramps. So that
Okay.
little bit of, say even 2-3 teaspoons you have is good. And
Okay.
then have a pre-drink when you enter the pool, a
Yeah.
pre-workout drink. And while swimming also you have a during workout also. So keep on
Okay.
having, keep the bottle near your board, near the pool, this thing, what do you call
Yeah.
the board. And
Okay.
every time finishing some laps, you have sips.
Okay.
So plain water bottle also on the side, because swimming also you lose a lot of fluid, which I have seen a lot of these kids do face. Even my daughter used to face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Thank you for that answer. There's one more question which has come up. It's regarding shoes and
Uh-huh.
running.
Yeah.
What would you advise on shoes
Now this is something very
for
personal.
long runs?
So
For long
yeah,
runs,
for long runs also, people prefer a
any
little bit
basic
of.
advice?
Asics has got one that thick sole shoe, the Asics Ultra only it's called. So that one, the sole is little thicker and it has got a grip on
Yeah.
the inside of your the inner sole.
Okay.
So the curvature that we have, the curve, that also gets supported well. So on
Yeah.
long run, this gives a nice cushioning, because longer the run, a bit of cushioning on the shoes helps if you're not a barefoot runner. So that cushioning helps the
Okay.
longer run is. Yeah. So yeah, Asics has got
Have
a
you
good.
tried barefoot?
I have done once 21 barefoot, and I was doing this, in 15th of August, we have a Shivaji Park Ultra Marathon, the Mumbai one. It's a Mumbai Ultra Run. So
Okay.
where we just do loops of 10
Okay.
kilometers and you do a 12-hour run. So I had done the first one, so 12-hour run here. It was on the road, so it was again a rainy day. So in between, I think after I finished around full, like a 42, I had removed my shoes because again it was tiring me up. So I had done around 21 without the shoes that time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There's one more question which has just come up.
Yeah.
If one is not allergic to caffeine, is it a good idea to have caffeine in an ultra run during hot weather? If yes, how much should be the maximum intake?
For an ultra run, caffeine is not so very helpful, because
Okay.
it kind of drinks a lot of water from your inside.
Okay.
So you can have a wake-up caffeine, which is like a shot of coffee before you start the run. You're fresh. But again, anything new should not happen that day. You must practice it before all your runs. Your body should get used to it. Then the gels that you take, you should practice in few runs. Nothing new on the day of run, whether it's ultra, 5, 10, 21, anything, nothing new. If you've not done it, 100 people are doing it, you don't go for it. You should practice if you're used to do it. So that one shot of coffee is good. The rest you can just carry and any other gels. I have used Unived, the butter. It's a fat gel. It's a very natural peanut butter gel.
Okay.
So that good fat is very good for ultra run. So fat is good for ultra distance running because and carbohydrates of course is very good. So peanut has both. It has carbs and it has got good fat. So it gives you a nice feeling. Yeah.
So we're just coming to almost to the end of the session. It's 1 hour, Indira, since we have been talking. Just last. What is that?
I said I can really talk.
Yes, I know that. I can too. Just think. I mean, any future goals as a runner, or any dream race you would like to participate in?
One, yes. As Satish, if he's there, I want to follow him and do the Comrades.
Because, 10 of them and get your number locked like him.
Sorry.
10 comrades together so that you can have your race number locked like Satish.
No, not all that. I just want to experience the Comrades run, and I want to do one common, like a normal run in India, which is not a race run or any registered run, but a self-supported run with a crew from Bombay to Calcutta.
Okay.
Yes, basically I'm also from Calcutta in the sense I've studied there. I've done my graduation there, and I love the Dakshineshwar temple, which is Ma Kali's temple. And every time I go, I just feel something, and I've been having the dreams. Now the dreams don't come anymore after I visited the temple a number of times. That old temple, how it used to be once upon a time. So my dream is that I start from here and end near Ma's door, that temple.
Okay.
So
nice.
I don't know when, but that is my dream. It's a long distance. Let's see when we can do this. And and if new races I come across, then of course I would. And Athens run, which I have done, and I feel like I should do it again. It's a beautiful race, the Athens run.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Maybe more of house wine then.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the last 2 questions coming up, one from the audience and one from me. Dr. Bhupinder Suhag is asking, what's your take on sports watches? Any brand which is really good and working for you?
Garmin works the best for me. So it's simple. It gets uploaded in your phone. You just have to sync it. You don't have to sync it every time. Once you're synced, it's done. And there are different higher versions also for triathletes, for everything. And it's water resistant. So it's a nice, simple watch, not too much of complication. So I'm happy with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Any particular model which you are wearing now?
Right now I'm wearing the Vivo 220. Yeah, it's a new one. So, but it's a very simple one. Yeah. It's a nice one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is my last question now. I will not hold you for longer times. Advice to people, your top 5 tips for anyone who wants to take up running as a sport.
So running, you're saying as an recreational sport or as an elite recreational?
As a recreational, I would say, yeah.
I am into that itself. So first of all, it's a very simple thing. You don't need too many things. You can just wear your whatever shoes you are used to it to start with. Just get up from the bed, just hit the road. Okay. I won't advise treadmill all the time, but when the weather conditions are such, you know how to manage your knees and your legs, then treadmill is good. Otherwise, the road is there, everything is there for you. You don't need too many things to run, and it's a good way to burn your calories. You eat to run, and you run to eat. It's both ways.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
and you drink to run, and even run to drink. It's even that way. So if you're a passionate beer lover, everybody waits to finish a marathon, ultra marathon, and okay, my beer is ready, and you don't feel guilty about it. And it's a very good mind clearing sport because you're just with yourself. Even if you're with a group, there are times when you're not talking, you're just with your own self. So you kind of just clear your thoughts, you clear your mind. And running is a sport which I've seen has made us very, not me, but everyone, very humble, down to earth. You realize that, yes, I have that strength, I can do better. But when you look around, you look at things, you feel like I'm so minuscule, Any races that I go, I always feel like I'm so small, So you always get grounded on the earth. It's a beautiful sport. It's very your own self, and it makes you realize a lot of things about your own self. You become very adjusting, and you become stronger. Of course,
you can almost eat anything, so maybe you can go hungry also sometime if you want to in ultra. So yeah, I think we are ending the session now, and it's been wonderful speaking to you, Indra. I think thank you very much from all of us for spending time, especially on a Friday, and giving us all valuable tips on not only about running, strength training, and sharing experiences. It's been really wonderful having you with us, and I wish you all the best. And I also wish that you achieve the dream of running from Bombay to Calcutta and ending up near the doors of Ma, so that that dream, I'm sure it will be fulfilled very soon. So thank you, Indira. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
So thank you all. It's been wonderful having you in the session, and it was wonderful talking to Indira. And it's been nice talking to you all and chatting with you. I hope we have answered all your questions. If you got any other questions you would like to answer, please send a note to me, and I can send it to Indira for her answer, and I can send it back to you. The interview would be I would be doing a summary, which I love doing it. I did it for the last interview, doing a summary of the interview, just few basic points, which I would be posting it in my page. I would thank you, every one of you, for supporting my page, and I hope that we can grow further and further and have more people joining us. Most importantly, giving a platform to all runners coming. My next guest for the next Friday, I'm just announcing it now, and that will be the master of ultra runs, and he'll be joining us for next Friday. So for all you ultra runners and all you trail runners, Mr. Mandeep Doon is going to come and join us for next Friday. So see you all for next Friday. Thank you. I love you all.